Hi everyone, follow along as I make some mixed berry jam today. Alright, so I found some berries in the freezer I needed to use up, so I decided to make some jam. It's a combination of strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, and then some wild dewberries I picked at the ranch last year. I measured them out and ended up with about 4 cups of berries and put them in a pot. The next step is to puree them or blend them up and get them smooth. So I used an immersion blender to do that. You can use any blender that you want. Um, just get them nice and smooth. Okay, once your berries are pureed, you add in your sugar. Most recipes called for equal parts berries and sugar. So I used about 4 cups of berries, so I added 4 cups of sugar. You can probably tell, but this is my first time to make jam. And I think that I was supposed to boil the berries for a few minutes first and then add in the sugar. But you can see I skipped that step. I added the sugar straight into the pureed berries, then put it on the stove, mixed it all together, turned the heat on medium, and let it come up to a boil. Once it boiled, I turned it down probably somewhere in between medium to low heat and set the timer for 25 minutes. I stayed close by and just continued to stir, and watch it to make sure that it didn't foam up too high or boil over. Okay, so after 22 minutes or so of boiling and stirring, it was time to test to see if the jam is ready. So you put a little spoonful of jam on a saucer. In this case, I used a bowl that we had. And then you stick it in the freezer for about 2 minutes. And after your 2 minutes, you take it out and you draw your finger down the middle of it. And if it stays separated, I think they call it the wrinkle test. If it passes the wrinkle test and it stays separated, your jam is ready to go. Okay, so my jam was ready at that 23 minute mark. So I just followed normal canning process at this point. Got my jars sterilized. They're nice and warm. Filled them up. I don't have a funnel. I'm not a professional canner. I just use what I have. These jars are also 16 ounce. You'd probably want to use an 8-ounce jar, but I just used what I had on hand. And I filled almost 3 of these completely and then cleaned off any of the jars that needed to be cleaned off of jam around the edge. Added my seals and lids, and then you would place these in a pot of boiling water like you normally would to get them to seal, probably about 8 to 10 minutes. I didn't film that process. The jar that I didn't fill completely, I ended up just keeping that one to put in the fridge. Okay, so it's been a few days and I'm ready to try out the jam. My favorite way is to eat it on peanut butter toast. Here I am checking out the consistency. It turned out really good without using pectin. So the sugar and berries method will work great if you don't have any pectin on hand. I think this is a great way to use up some berries if you have any in your freezer. This combination turned out really good. I'm happy with it and I hope that you give it a try. Thanks for watching.